Hi, this is G-Mac for the Razor Company and welcome to another shave. Today's focus will be on the Razorock Daily Plus razor. Stay with me. Let's talk about Razorock. I'm a fan, always been a fan, because they are the one company that, for so many years has provided gear for everybody from a newbie to an extremely seasoned shaver. There are some artisans who go totally by pride of concept or design, and that means that no matter what the feedback may be, they will stick to their guns. And I'm not going to name any, but there are artisans, and I respect them for that, because if you have an idea or a design in mind and you want to go with it, and regardless of what anyone says, you stick to it, and it's your concept. But what I do love about Michael and Joe, the uncle and nephew duo, they're very receptive. I've been in touch with Michael a couple of times, run a few ideas through him. They always listen to feedback. And that's the reason why you will see some of their razors created, like the Hawk, which started off with aluminum, and then of course they made a stainless steel version, and it's still a very relevant razor. One of my favorite AC blade razors, and that too with 3 different plates. They came out with a cyber razor that could address the aluminum sector, along with giving people or giving shavers a rather comfortable shaver. And then of course came the Razorock Goat, which was very much like the Merkur 34C, but slightly different. Stainless steel, for all those that were craving a Weber, for the longest period of time, at least they could have the Goat. And after that, of course, Merkur came out with their own stainless steel version, but still the Goat remains relevant, and the Goat Plus is a very different shaver from the Merkur razor. So brings me to the Razorock Daily Plus razor. This razor, of course, to me, did remind me a little bit about the Cyber razor, which was that aluminum one. If you look at the razor head design, it's got a fixed 30-degree angle on the head, and it's got a fairly decent blade gap. Actually, it's about 0.99 if I'm not mistaken, and the exposure is supposed to be 0.125. What I do love about this razor is just the design and the fact that, even the plus sign, if you can notice, it's a small little, mark there that'll tell you, but like an anagram. But and this has the grooved head, so it's supposed to facilitate better lather channeling and of course a more efficient shave. There's also the double open comb version, which I will get my hands on very soon. So this razor features the halo handle. Let's very quickly look at the handle itself. The handle is about 76 grams, and the head, just the head, is about 33 grams. So if you actually put it on a lighter Razorock handle, that might work too. But this is how it came originally, so that's how I'm going to shave with it. I do like the halo handle very much, always been a fan of it. This is a one piece, so the bottom doesn't come off, as you can see. And I do love the fact that let me open up the head for you. So if you look at the head, it's very, very unique. The blade locks into place perfectly, with those slats, and there is a bit of a recess in the base plate that you can see. So it appears like the handle screws into the head, but it doesn't. But there's absolutely supposed to be no chatter at all on this. So supposed to be mild to medium aggression, a little bit above the BBS standard. So I said, for today, why not go with the blade that I recently have been using and I love, the Kai AA stainless steel. Actually matches my t-shirt. It's actually available at the Razor Company, so you can pick it up. I do love Kai blades. Sometimes I feel blades that do not have too much of a coating, kind of work better. So it's just a plain stainless steel blade. If you look at it, a wafer thin, it's got great width. Probably the widest blade available, D blade available. But the important thing about this is it's supposed to be really sharp. Some shavers find that the feather is sharper. I don't. I find the feather can be nasty on the first shave. On the second shave, it's an absolutely stunning blade. So let's go with loading the blade in. I'm not going to, actually pinch it. I'm going to get the well, base plate. Just drop it on there, and then let's just go with getting the handle on. I normally do love to pinch. You can hear that crunch. Ooh. Very interesting. I heard that crunch because it bends the blade. It's kind of like a pyramid BBS standard. I didn't think about that, but actually kind of, you know, it's got a three-sided head. Very unique. I do love the design of this head, really, really unique. So that's the Kai blade locked in. Now keep in mind the fact that Kai does make the widest blades. There is absolutely no blade hang, but if you look at the exposure, you can barely catch it. Well, I don't know if you can catch the glint of it. There it is. It's very, very minimal. It just kind of sticks right here. So I'm very keen on knowing how this is going to shave. 30-degree angle, right? 30-degree fixed angle. Let's get the other parts of the shave in. Well, so I've introduced the Kai blade. I'm going with the Hendrix Classics and Company stainless steel lather bowl. I decided to go with something different for today as far as the brush is concerned. So I'm going with the Ken Surfs limited edition 2021 made by DScosmetics. It's got a silk smoke kind of knot. Quick shout out to Ken Surfs. I'm a big fan, have always been. I'm a fan of a lot of the lads who are on here on YouTube, including, well, John Venturino of Stubble Meets Steel, J Mac, absolutely love what he does. Learned how to use a shavette from him. So many of the other shavers, including, well, the late Double Y, IMCDB, one of my favorite shavers of all time, and kind of miss him because he's not around. But Ken Surfs, when I think about him, you know, he's a great guy. Always shares the joy of shaving and the gear that he uses. There's never an unnecessary promotion in there. It's always about how it works for him. Either it does or it doesn't. He still goes back to using milder razors like the Merkur 34C, or, you know, and he still gets a great shave out of it. Love what he does, love his equipment, and love watching him. So the reason I really got this brush was because of him, because I'm a fan of his, and I said, why not? So beautiful handle. It's got an opaque top and a translucent red bottom. So very, very nice, and 24mm knot. So let's shave with this. For the aftershave, I'm going with my Nivea Deep Impact Comfort. It's absolutely, well, one of the mildest aftershaves I've used in terms of how it feels on the face, but it's very similar to the Bourbon Vanilla. Nothing great as far as the fragrance goes. The fragrance goes off after maybe about 20 minutes or so, but it works beautifully. Nivea products are great. So let's get down to the soap, and this one of course has to be an important one. I'm going with the Los Angeles Shaving Company, the LA Shaving Company Topanga Fougere, and this of course is a sample. The inside of the soap is like sticky pudding. So when you actually scoop it out, you can feel it. Now there's something very interesting about this soap, and well, let me tell you about it while I just start the lathering process. So Topanga Fougere was actually inspired by Houbigant's Fougere, which was actually created by Paul Parquet in 1882. He was a 20-year-old, and it's supposed to be a woody, herbal, floral kind of fragrance that should create an impression of a forest floor. That's what it's supposed to do. So, interestingly, well, Fougere means fern. It's French for fern. And fern by itself does not really have too much of a fragrance. It's got a little bit of a fragrance. And this is supposed to have lavender, geranium, cowood, balsam, clary sage, vetiver, patchouli, and sweet myrrh. But let me tell you this. I just took a whiff of that, and it actually smells a bit like a sweet, herbal, woody incense. That's what it smells like. So I dug in a little bit deeper to try and figure out about the Topanga Fougere and what was it that made this soap, so intense. So it's made of stearic acid, glycerin. It's got the usual, well, castor oil, aloe vera juice. But the important part of this, now look at how that lathers up, really, really great. the important part of this, well, soap, I would say, is it has a ton. It's a medley of essential oils. So it's got lavender, clary sage, hoewood, myrrh, geranium, vetiver, balsam, tolu, bergamot, patchouli, and it also has vanilla extract and French red clay. Now, I just started whipping up a lather. Let me show you the results. That's crazy, isn't it? And this is a vegan soap, so let's get down to shaving with it right away. I did hydrate it a lot. I've used a lot of water inside it this time. I don't even know why, but there are days when I just go a bit crazy. But look at that, those peaks. Absolutely wonderful. Nice cushion, as I can see. A bit foamy, and I think that would be due to maybe the content of one of the oils in there. I do feel a slight tingle on the skin, and that's due to the fact that there is so much of essential oil. Hoping I don't get a fragrance burn. I don't think I should, but the lather feels nice on the face, and I always go by that. It feels rich and creamy. I can tell that there's a load of oils in it. That's a fine lather, actually. Impressed. My first time using an LA shaving soap product. I do remember that Chisel Face had a few of their, well, scents. If I'm not mistaken, could it be Midnight Stag or Bespoke or I don't know. But I remember that, oh yeah, I do remember Black Rose. That's the one. So interesting. Let's get down to the shave itself. Got a good lather going. That lather just kind of blew out of the bowl. Wasn't expecting so much. If you ask me how much of soap did I used a teaspoon, like a little more than level teaspoon. I don't really go by scoops nowadays. I just found it was easier to measure with a teaspoon. So the Razorock Daily Plus with a Kai blade. And this is going to be the first pass. Well, the angle is built in, so I don't think that should be an issue. Interesting. Very interesting. So if you just let the force guide you, let the angle guide you. So if you just kind of work with the angle, you can feel the razor, well, cutting through the stubble. Here's the interesting bit. You know, I've heard comparisons of this razor being made to the Henson, and that the Plus is like the Henson Aggressive. They're very different razors. I can tell you that they're extremely different razors. And I'm saying that because I love the Hensons. They're great razors, you know, and they have a purpose like every other razor. And I've always said this, that if Henson made a stainless steel razor, I'd pick it up, you know, in a heartbeat. But this razor feels very different from a Henson. It's a very smooth shaver. You can barely feel the blade. Now I'm using a Kai in there, but it's like as if the blade is not touching the skin, but you know it's taking off the stubble. I don't know how the mild plus shaves, but I mean how the mild daily razor shaves. But I think Razorock got the description right. It feels solid in the hand, like it's going to be an aggressive shaver. It's a very smooth, mild to mid aggression. That description is bang on. In fact, what I'd love to do is probably get it onto a lighter handle at some point of time. Maybe the barber pole with the hollowed barber pole that they've come out with. That might be even more fun. I do find the handle a tad bit heavy, and that's just for me, but it does aid the glide. So first impressions, if you're expecting this to be like the Henson, absolutely not. I remember somebody comparing the Razor Company razor to the Henson as well. That's the Razor Company stainless steel or the titanium. They're very different razors. They shave differently, they feel different in the hand, and this one is totally different. To me, it's nothing like a Henson. So just gonna go with the second lather application. This is just a gorgeous lather. That soap was very nice. Very good cushion, protection, and glide. And then again with the razor having, I don't know what it is, but if I were to look at this razor and say, is there a razor that I've shaved with that is kind of similar and a little, in some manner, I would say the Yates Winning. And the Yates Winning is different from the Henson razor. So I hate making razor comparisons, but just to give you an idea of what it might shave like. I think the closest would be the Yates Winning razor. It's kind of close to that, but different because this one has big lather clearing channels, there's a bigger blade gap. But that, I think what Razorock have done is pretty smart. That minimal blade exposure with a bigger blade gap on the plus, I do believe it would work better than the standard. I'm just saying so. But if you want something that's still going to give you an efficient shave and that's going to, well, not be intimidating because of the blade gap, go with the standard. Because that's the beauty of Razorock products. The Lupo, I love the 127. Does it deliver a much better shave than, let's say, the 0.72? No, it doesn't. More efficient? Yes. Does it need to be handled by a seasoned shaver? Yes. The Lupo 0.72 is a stunning razor. The Lupo Aluminum, the original, is a razor that I still own. One of my favorite razors. It's got a little bit over 0.5 or 0.55 blade gap, but such a stunning razor to use. So don't always go by blade gaps. So I do believe that the Razorock Plus grooved or smooth daily razor, even the standard one, will deliver a stunning shave. And you can get it at the Razor Company. I am very, very, very impressed by this lather. It's kind of crazy actually. Wasn't expecting that sort of a very nice face feel. I don't know whether it's due to the essential oils or just the aloe vera juice. So it's got a bit of glycerin, you can tell, and that's what gives it that glide. But let's go with the second pass, Razorock Daily Razor Plus. Now this is a tricky one. This is a very tricky one because you're going with a fixed angle, and normally, each one of us has a different growth on the neck. Sometimes a fixed angle is not the best option. So I am manipulating it a bit and it works like a charm. It just works like a charm. Because I'm not very good with these, well, let me show you closer, these fixed angles on the neck. But I can tell you one thing about this razor that is superb. The clamping is stunning. There's absolutely no blade chatter on this. My only crib is the weight of the handle, but with all the Razorock handles available, I'm definitely probably going to get an 85 millimeter HD hollowed handle, or I'm going to get probably the barber pole hollowed handle, and that would be a perfect fit for me. But this is one amazing razor head. Oh, it's just so comfy. Practically no blade feel on it. So I went against, and I wanted to go across. You can hear the feedback. Very impressed. Very impressed, Razorock. Very, very impressed. Incidentally, I did shave with the goat, but I don't own one. I couldn't resist getting the plus. Because I skipped the Cyber Razor, and probably will get it someday, but just for the time being. Drama-free shave. The other day I shaved with Carvo Volanda stainless steel and the Kai blade, and I had a wonderful shave. It's the second time I'm getting a great shave with the Kai blade, and it's such a beautiful match for this razor. I'm going to go give you a tip because of this angle. If you're going against the grain, it requires a slight adjustment, and I'd say 5% of pressure. Now 5% is like, you gotta imagine that. 5%, nothing more than that, and it works perfectly against the grain. Not a problem to get under the nose, and that was a fantastic shave. Absolutely loved it. If you're going to ask me, do I recommend the Razorock Daily razor? Go to the razor company. They have the groove, they have the smooth, head as well, and pick it up. It's a great price to pick it up at. Fantastic value for money. This is a stunning shaver. I am going to swap the handle around. I'm not going to lie about that, but pick it up for what it is. And I do have a feeling that this handle, because of the weight, it's a handle heavy razor, not head heavy, because the handle is almost double the weight of the head, but it does aid with the glide and control. But I'm just fussy about handles, so I'm going to put a lighter Razorock handle on it. But the main thing about this razor is the head, and I had a stunning shave with it. Absolutely beautiful. Just gonna wet the face a bit, check for that residual slickness. That was a superb shave. Superb shave. So I'm going to say this again. Highly recommended. Go pick up the Razorock Daily or the Daily Plus. Great razor. Totally different from the Hensons. Totally different from any other fixed angle. 30-degree fixed angle, but works different. It works even different as compared to the Yates Winning razor. My first time using an LA, that's Los Angeles Shaving Company soap. It's vegan, or it has no tallow rather, but I did have my doubts that it was going to give me fragrance burn because of the ton of essential oils in there. But I just think the quality of the essential oils used in this are very pure. I had no skin irritation, nothing. My skin feels good. I had a really, really good shave. The blade for today, more and more I'm beginning to love these blades. Kai double-edged blades, perfect match for the Razorock Daily, perfect match for the Carve Overlander. Get them from the Razor Company if you haven't got it. These blades sometimes fly under the radar. People call them, too sharp, dangerous, and all sorts of things. Absolutely not. Beautiful blades. For the bowl, of course, I went with the Hendrix Classics and Company stainless steel lather bowl. Thank you, Pete Hendrix. And for the brush, of course, I went with Ken Surf's, the limited edition 2021 DScosmetics. God bless Ken Surf's. That's it. So for the aftershave, I'm going to go with the Nivea Men Deep Impact Comfort. That's what it is. Very comfortable on the skin. Let me know your comments. Do you own the Razorock Daily razor? Do you have the LA Shaving Company products? Well, earlier I said this thing doesn't burn. It actually, the razor got really close. I can feel it because my skin is, it's smooth. So it got very close, especially on this area. Wow. That's it for the shave today, and time for me, G-Mac, to shut shop and ship out of here. I'll be back again with another video and more shaving gear real soon. Till then, bye-bye, my friend, and happy shaves as always.